Okay, so now let's look at the price. What determines the price on a bond? Well, the price should reflect how much a bond is worth, or the bond value. And each bond should be worth no more than how much money it brings you in the future, right? So you would never want to pay more than what you're expecting to get from it, from the company that issued the bonds. So, what is the bond value? How much should each bond sell for? How much money does the firm raise or borrow with each bond? These three questions ask you to calculate the same exact thing, right? So, we usually call it bond value, calculating bond value, or bond valuation. And like was shown earlier, what you get in the future when you buy a bond is annual coupon payments, as well as the face value at the very end. And you will continue receiving those coupon payments until maturity. So you look at the amount of time that's left, and then that becomes part of our calculations. So what are the calculations that we need to do? Well, the coupons are constant. They will be repeated every year, and they will eventually end. This is the definition of an ordinary annuity. So we have that as part of the cash flows from a bond. And we also have the face value at the very end, like a single cash flow, right? Sort of by itself. So to find how much you would be willing to pay, or the maximum you would be willing to pay for a bond today, if you are on the investor side, on the buyer side. And if you're on the firm side that's selling the bond, the question could be rephrased as how much the firm should sell each bond for. So that becomes nothing but the present value of all the coupons, the annuity of coupons, plus the present value of the face value at bond's maturity. So we just add up the two sort of components of the bond value. And so the bond value is equal to the sum of the present value of an annuity of coupons and the present value of the face value at maturity. And the formulas are from, the annuity formula from chapter 6 for the coupon part, and for the face value part, it's kind of going back to chapter 5, discounting a single cash flow back to time 0. Okay, let's do our first numerical example on bond valuation. Golden Eye Company, that's one of the James Bond movies, right? Issued bonds with a coupon rate of 10% and annual coupons. The par value is $1,000, and the bonds have 5 years to maturity. The yield to maturity on similar debt issued by similar companies is 11%. What is the value of each bond? This question could be put in different words. How much money can the company raise with each bond? Or how much should the company's bonds sell for in the market? It's all one and the same thing. So 10% coupon rate determines the coupon amount every year. The face value is given as $1,000, which is the same thing as the par value. This could be completely omitted, in which case you would assume that the face value or the par value is $1,000. And another important thing that I haven't mentioned yet is what's important for bond valuation is how many years are left until maturity. For example, maybe these bonds were sold originally 7 years ago, right? Which means 7 years until now plus another 5 years from now until maturity makes it originally 12-year bonds. But we don't use 12 years for our bond value calculations, but we only use how many years remain until maturity. That's important. So always make sure you're using the number of years between today and the maturity date, the remaining time until maturity. Okay, so the coupon amount is always calculated the same way. You take the coupon rate and you multiply it by the face value. Both are given 0.1 coupon rate multiplied by $1,000 face value. That gives the annual coupon amount of $100. And we have now everything we need to compute the bond value. We can either plug in the numbers into the formula or use the financial calculator. So let's see how that's done. If you use the formula, then you will get $963.04. And now the formula. The formula is, now the financial calculator. The financial calculator uses the same keys as an annuity. You enter the coupon amount, $100 is the PMT, and so on. But one extra thing that needs to be entered now is the $1,000 future value. Okay, so let me bring up the financial calculator and explain how we solve this kind of problem. This is the financial calculator. Turn it on. It's always a good idea to clear everything, even if you used your calculator a few days ago. Second, plus minus, enter, does a full reset. Now we are ready to go. Maybe we also want to increase the decimal places. Let's do that. Second decimal place, let's make it not 2, but maybe 6. I press 6, enter, it's done. And if I turn the calculator off and turn it back on, it's keeping 6 decimal places. Okay, now let's begin. Again, in no particular order, as always, you enter the information that is given. And now there are 4 numbers that need to be entered. With annuities, in chapter 6, it used to be 3 numbers, N, IY, and PMT. Now there is an extra number that needs to go into the calculator, the face value or the future value, $1,000. So our coupon payments will be $100 each every year. You put 100, as usual we make it negative and save as PMT. Then not only will we be receiving $100 coupon payments if you buy such bond, but we are also going to receive $1,000 at the very end. So let's enter that as our next piece of information, 1,000. And because it's just like coupons received by the bondholder, you use exactly the same sign. So we made PMT negative. You're also gonna make your future value negative. So you press the plus minus key and then you press FV. So FV stands for future value, but here it's also the face value when you talk about bonds. And then in no particular order, you enter the discount rate, 11%, which is also known as the yield to maturity when we talk about bonds. So I press 11 IY and 5 for N. 5 is how many coupons there will be between now and the maturity date. So 5N. And we want to compute the present value of this bond. $963 and a little bit more than 4 cents, right? So the new thing here is entering the face value, which is FV, future value. And it's always $1,000. And the important thing is, like I explained on the slide, both the PMT, the coupon amount, and the FV, the face value, must be entered with the same sign. So I showed how you enter both as negative. What if you didn't? What if you left them as positive? The only thing that would be different is that when you get your bond value, the answer, right, on the display, it would be displayed with a negative sign. Otherwise, it would be still the same dollar amount, $963.04.